All right. The trip is over. I've slept since then. So I've had a little chance to recover. But no, it was a great, great trip. I did some solo stuff. I did some stuff with a partner. And they were both great. It was great to have someone around. It was also great to be alone. Um, so it was 5 days and 4 nights. Um, and it was just a great trip. It was great to be out in nature. It was great to be out and challenge myself because it was definitely a challenge. And it was great to just really be present and in the moment. It went by way too fast. I expected it would. But I guess now I'm home and back to the creature comforts of home. The first thing I did when I got home was after I took stuff out of my car, I took a shower. I definitely needed it. My feet were filthy because I wear sandals to hike in. Um, and yeah, once that was all washed off, I felt so much better. And then I ate food from one of my favorite restaurants that I had Marcus pick up on his way home. Um, and that was great. And yeah, then I just went to sleep. So it was great to sleep in my own bed for once in a while. And yeah, so on the trip, we saw several beautiful views. It was just breathtaking up there. It could have been more. I think I saw more on the Art Lobe Trail that I did a few years back. But it was still really, really beautiful and really, really good. Um, and yeah, definitely the most challenging thing I've done in my life. Um, it was hard. It was very, very hard, but it was worthwhile, I think. The first night I slept horribly, and then every night after that I slept just fine. I did toss and turn a bit because my sleeping pad is not built for side sleepers. So I definitely could feel my hip in the ground or on the ground. Um, so I may look into a different sleeping pad for other trips for the future. So it may be a little bit heavier than what I got now because it's a pretty lightweight pad. But yeah, the last night we were on the Appalachian Trail. We stayed in the Hawk Creek shelter. We met some people. We played cards with one person who was hiking up to the Fontana Dam. So he started at, um, the beginning Amicalola Falls and was going up to Fontana Dam. So that was pretty cool. And we played cards for a little while. We talked for a little while. I sold him my pillow at the end because he didn't have one. So yeah, he could have that little comfort as opposed to sleeping on his tent bag in the shelters. So yeah, so he got a pillow out of it. I got $10 out of it. I paid like 14 for it years ago. And I told him he didn't have to pay me, but he did anyway, which was kind of nice. It was very sweet for him to do it anyway. Um, and yeah, we had some great conversations out there. Just chatted about life and about things in general. Um, got so dirty, got so sweaty and gross, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. For some reason, I thought it was going to be harder um, because I was able to do it, I guess. Um, and I was hoping I'd be able to finish it, but there weren't any moments where I was like, "Am I going to be able to finish this?" I think at the midway point, when Beth decided to leave for a little while, I questioned it for a second, and I was like, "Do I want to finish this? I can bail now. This is my last bailout opportunity." And then I was like, "No, I'm gonna finish it because I really wanted to, and I'd already done over about 30. I'd done about 30 miles, so I was about the halfway point. And I was like, I can do this again. So yeah, that was just like a brief moment of, is that going to be the end or is it not? But it wasn't. And then Beth met up with me the next day, or actually that evening, um, the next evening, because I went the one whole day by myself. So the next evening she came back, and we camped for the last night and then hiked the last night together, or the last day together. And it was great. So we started together and finished together, which was great. Um, and we took selfies at the beginning and the end and a couple pictures here and there. Um, I had thoughts of like video recording more out there, but I didn't. I'm kind of glad I did because my battery backup devices failed me miserably. I had three 200,000 milliamps and one 10,000 milliamps. The 10,000 milliamps charged a phone like three times, two or three times, and then the 20,000s only charged a phone like once, and then they were dead. Um, which is not what they're supposed to do. So I guess that's what I get for getting off name brand ones. I guess for next time, I'm definitely gonna invest in some name brand ones. Like Anchor and KER is a good brand. Um, that's what the 10,000 milliamp one was. Was Anchor the one that lasted a couple charges at least? Um, so I can't believe I brought four of them, but I'm glad I brought four of them. I actually ended up using a fifth charger that Beth brought with her the last day, to try to keep my phone alive, but it got down to 8% and we were still like an hour away, from the end. So I just shut it down. So I never got to see, congratulations, you finished, or whatever it says on my app, on the All Trails app when you get to the end. Um, and but that's fine because we saw the end. We came up on it. Saw my car from right before the end, because it's so bright you can't miss it. And yeah, it was a great experience. It almost felt like it ended way too soon, but then it took me many, many hours to get home, because Beth's car, where she ended up having to park, was kind of way out in the middle of nowhere. So we had to get out there and then get back out. And then I ended up, not having GPS signal when I got to the end of the road. So I turned onto 60, missed my turn where I was supposed to turn to get off of 60, and then ended up back at where we started and ended, the trip. So I finally had signal there, so I was able to stop and re-put it in my phone and kind of figure it out from there. Um, but that was definitely wasted like a good, 20, 30 minutes probably, on top of the maybe hour or so to get to her car and back, um, from there. So yeah, it wasn't the best, getting home experience, because I didn't have signal out there and I didn't know where I was going. But Beth gave me some general directions, but I forgot one of them, one of the directions to go. And so I was like, I'll just find signal and I'll figure it out. And I ended up figuring it out. So, it worked out. I got home we finished at like 3:12, got home at like 8:17. Um, so yeah, it took 5 hours to kind of figure that out. And it was like a 3 hour drive. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there, and why it took quite so long. But, yeah, I eventually did get home, which is the important part. Um, and I'm taking the day off today to just do nothing and sit around. I did go to Walmart to pick up some stuff for an event tomorrow. Um, and I did go to Ingles earlier for watermelon, because I was really craving some watermelon, for breakfast. And other than that, I'm not going out. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here on the couch, getting up and wandering around the house if I need to for anything. But, um, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to give y'all an update, on the trip and how I'm feeling. One of my feet is pretty sore. They're both sore, but one of my feet is worse. I have chronic Achilles tendonitis in that leg, and that ankle, and it's acting up, as well as a tendon across the top of my foot is acting up. It's pretty angry. But other than that, I'm doing great, feeling fine. Just ready to rest and relax. Thanks.